All right. Good morning, guys. Coming to you January 14th, 2021. Coming to you guys from the Hoffman Evergreen Preserve off 201 in Stonington. I just want to show you guys something in class on Tuesday, earlier this week. The students that were in class, we went and looked at the Robinson Yard, the cemetery located between Stonington High School and Davis Standard. And I referenced, some of these other type of places like that around town. So here in the Hoffman Evergreen Preserve, which is an Avalonia property, this land is not developed. So it maintains more of its original character. And part of that character is what's known as Bennett Yard. So if we think of the high school, Davis Standard on one side and the high school on the other side, and we think of that cemetery, it seems kind of out of place that cemetery's there. But this is sort of, it's set in what it probably looked like as nature sort of took back the fields and that cultivated land where the high school now sits. At one point would have returned to nature, kind of as things changed in the late 1800s. And here in this preserve, in the Hoffman Evergreen Preserve, we have this cemetery dating back, this individual here passed away in 1829 at the age of 23. There are some veterans of the Civil War, and I'm not sure about that. Maybe the Revolutionary War. I can't remember. We'll take a look over here. But I mean, this cemetery dates back. It goes back hundreds of years, and it's right here in the woods. Here it's off 201 in Stonington. Here we have. I can't make it out. William Jediah. I can't make it out. But he died October 17th, 1829, 18 years old. Whew. That's tough. That's brutal. So we see, here we have a flag and a tombstone, a headstone leaning up against rocks. That's something that we see around this Bennett Yard. Stones that have broken off, and that's what we see over in the Robinson Yard as well. This one's far more intact, or I don't want to say maintained. This is interesting. Up here, I can see that somebody's cleared some area around these stones. So I was talking in class last week about what headstones and footstones, like we would see these stones that are, it looks like just a rock sticking up out of the ground. But you can see this is the headstone right here, and this would be the footstone marking where the individual who is buried here. I mean, that's way back, guys. That's like colonial times. And these are all through here. If we walk, there are more of them in here. It's all kind of overgrown at this point, but they are all in here. It's kind of wild. It really is, that this is all, just kind of the story of our town. And if you see over in the distance, I can actually see a building, a house over there. So those homes, those are going in. I think that's Wolf Neck Road, maybe. I can't remember. But we can see some, that's private property over there, and that's like that's the case here. When we talk about land preservation, maintaining these places and keeping them for generations to come. These people here that are buried here, we can assume worked on these lands, farmed this land, lived here. There are several, or a few that I know of, foundations here in the Hoffman Evergreen Preserve that are pretty spectacular. I actually, a couple other videos maybe I'll show you of that. But something else I wanted to make note of is over here, the pile of stones. This pile of stones here, this is something that sort of we see in this area of the country, in these old like colonial, early 1800 era cemeteries, we see these piles of stones oftentimes, and that's from when they would prepare the burial site for the deceased. They would, we all know, living in this area of the country, a lot of rocks in the ground, a lot of stones. So big pile of stones. This isn't the best view of it from right at this angle, I would think, with all the debris on it, but it's pretty extensive. It's there's a lot here, and it's just it's still here, maintained, and part of the story of our town, our history, our shared history here in Stonington, Connecticut. When we have a rich history, it goes way back. So just wanted to show that to you as another example of what we have next to the high school, only the area where the Robinson Cemetery has been developed and pretty much lost to the development. And then we have this Hoffman Evergreen Preserve, which has a lot going on here. This is a pretty cool place, a lot of interesting things happening here. But all right, just wanted to show that to you. All right, peace.